It's single digits outside, but it's warm and the competition is starting to heat up inside. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the home of the Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. I'm Zarin Egestal, and we'll be joined eventually by Emery Songer, and in just a few minutes, we will have a matchup between the number 1 seed, the number 1 team in the state, the Cedar Falls Tigers, and the number 8 seed, the Waukee Warriors. That's all coming up right here on the Girls Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea.
And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action.
And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
If you want to save more.
If you want a butcher who knows more.
If you want fewer aisles and more value.
Less quantity, more quality.
If you want more of this.
And this.
And this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Hey, Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
At Casey's, we're here for early mornings and Friday nights. Here for the firsts and the traditions, through the good days and the tough times. We're here for the people who are here for each other. Casey's. Here for our town. Here for good.
Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids and the U.S. Cellular Center, the home of the Iowa High School Girls State Volleyball Championships, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company. First, let's talk about our number 8 seed today with a record of 35-11 coming in to tonight's this afternoon's contest. Waukee Warriors are 2-8 this season versus other 5A state qualifiers. They're second in Class 5A in aces and third in Class 5A in kills so far this year. They are the Class 5A Region 8 champions. They defeated Southeast Polk 3-0 to get back here to Cedar Rapids. Rather, I should say, the number 8 team in this class, as they are one of 5 Class 5A teams that are returning from last year's state tournament, and they have a couple of college signees on the team, including South Dakota State signee Kate Nelson, along with North Florida signee Ellie Heemthrath as well. A couple of them coming back here for Coach Danielle Akua Lynch, who won her 150th career match this season. Let's take a look now at the number 1 team in the state, looking to win a state championship this year. That's their aspirations coming in. They have only lost 5 sets all season, and only 2 of them to Iowa teams. They have not lost a match to an Iowa team yet this year. Their only loss came to St. James Academy out of Kansas, and they were the Class 5A Region 6 champion, defeating Marshalltown to get here. Let's go downstairs. No, actually, we're going to keep it right here for a moment because they're going to start over on court 2 with their starting lineups, and so we are going to keep it right here for just a moment. As we mentioned, Cedar Falls was here a year ago. They made it all the way to the state championship matchup a year ago. They were actually undefeated going into the state championship match last year and fell to Ankeny Centennial in that state championship match right back here in Cedar Falls and finished the season with 1 loss. Now again, Cedar Falls, another team this year, have only lost once so far this year, 41-1, have not lost to an Iowa team, but would like to win the state championship this year and finish the season with only 1 loss. And to do so, they have a tough Class 5A field that they would have to battle through to get there. They are making their 6th straight trip to Cedar Rapids and are loaded this season. The Class 5A runner-ups, as we mentioned, from last year, has dropped only 2 sets compiling an unbeaten record against Iowa teams this year. Kirsten Graves and Emerson Green, along with Alana Yates and Akeisha Brown, own the match record of 130-4. Let's go downstairs now to Mr. Rick Blackwell, the public address announcer here on court number 1.
From Cedar Falls, Donna Todd. And from Waukee, Jody Vogt. Over to court 2 for introductions.
And it's now time to introduce the players and coaches in today's quarterfinal matchup. First, for the Pleasant Valley Spartans, number 6, Paige Burst. Number 10, Jessie Meyer. Number 12, Sunny Wolf. Number 15, Natalie Adams. Number 17, Haley Huffman.
Welcome back upstairs. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back with the starting lineups. You're watching the 2019 Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
Businesses are hiring DMACC grads.
DMACC's tuned into what the employers in the central Iowa area are looking for. They offer those courses and degrees in those areas that makes it very highly marketable.
A majority of jobs available just require the technical skills, the hands-on skills that you get with a 2-year degree. DMACC is more a model of the future because the students are employable right away.
I think DMACC does a great job of preparing you for life.
DMACC, life's calling.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids as we get set for starting lineups in just a couple of minutes here on court number 1 as they finish up starters over on court number 2. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick as we start this Class 5A tournament. This is the number 1 versus the number 8, Cedar Falls versus Waukee. Over on court number 2 is number 2, Iowa City Liberty versus number 7, Pleasant Valley. Coming up next here on court number 1 will be number 4, Ankeny Centennial, and they will take on number 5, Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. And we will go downstairs back to Rick Blackwell for the starting lineups.
Waukee Warriors. Number 1, Megan Schmidt. Number 2, Gabby Weber. Number 4, Jaylee Nielsen. Number 5, Kennedy Riling. Number 11, Verity Karstensen. Number 13, Aubrey Adams. Number 14, Sarah Nelson. Number 20, Taylor Goddard. The assistant coach is Elisa Roth. Now for your starters. Number 6, Lily Becker.
Number 7, Ellie Hebesat. Number 8, Leanna Green. Number 10, Ella Peterson. Number 12, Kate Nelson. Number 17, Ainsley Slicker. The libero is number 3, Corey Knox. The head coach is Danielle Cahoot Lynch. And now for the Cedar Falls Tigers. Number 1, Lainey Nielsen. Number 3, Lexi Godfrey. Number 8, Sarah Albaugh. Number 12, Nohea Mahi. Number 15, Katie Bremer. Number 16, Ellie Gertis. Number 18, Taria Campbell. Number 19, Lauren Lilly. And the assistant coaches are Adam Timmons, Madison Walker, Abby Perez, and Morgan Rutherford. Now for your starters. Number 4, Emerson Green. Number 5, Jada Golden Smith. Number 7, Olivia Bronner. Number 14, Emmy Wedgbury. Number 17, Elena Yates. Number 21, Acacia Brown. The libero is Kirsten Graves. The head coach is Matthew Johnson. The officials for this match are first referee, Ed Oliver. Second referee, Anthony Vandergriff. Your line judges are Nikki O'Keefe and Keith Hartgrave. Let's play volleyball.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Starting lineups are brought to you by Buena Vista University. Located in Storm Lake, Iowa, Buena Vista University prepares students for lifelong success through transformational academic, professional, and co-curricular programs. Schedule your visit today at bvu.edu. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. We bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a
Second referee, Greg Bogoff. The line judges are Ted Rocher and Randy Clark. Now let's play volleyball.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids. The U.S. Cellular Center is the site for the 2019 Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company. This is going to be a fun one. The road to the state championship starts right here as the road to Cedar Rapids has concluded. Let's talk about how both of these two teams got here to Cedar Rapids first. The number 1 seed, the Cedar Falls Tigers. They beat Cedar Rapids Washington 3-0 on night number 1, and then they beat Marshalltown on the 4th of this month to get here to Cedar Rapids. For the Waukee Warriors, they defeated Des Moines Lincoln 3-0 and Southeast Polk 3-0, and that is how each of these teams got here. The head coach for the Waukee Warriors is Danielle Kuhut Lynch. She is in her 14th year coaching, her second year here at Waukee. She has a 180 over 122 record all time, and she is currently 64 in 25 here at Waukee. For Cedar Falls, it's of course Matthew Johnson, the head coach for the Cedar Falls Tigers in his 6th season. He is 538 and 140 here at Cedar Falls, or excuse me, overall. Here at Cedar Falls, he is 235 and 23. We're set for volleyball. Cedar Falls will be wearing the red on the right side, and Waukee is wearing the black on the left side. The first serve is up, and going to be an ace serve to start off the 2019 Iowa High School State Volleyball Championships. Fans, all of our ace serves are brought to you by Adrenaline. Second serve is up. It's taken by the Warriors, who are able to get it over this time. They're going to try to get it back to the middle, and there's a kill. Quickly put down for Elena Yates of Cedar Falls. And the Tigers quickly up 2-0. Serving now for Cedar Falls is Olivia Bronner. The sophomore 5'7" defensive specialist will serve. And this one will be taken by the Waukee Warriors. Over, and it gets down, so Waukee comes back quickly with a kill. Nelson is able to put that down for Waukee. Kate Nelson will now serve for Waukee. Cedar Falls having some trouble, but they are able to put it back over to the Waukee Warriors side. A good tap over at the net. That's going to get down. Great play there by Ellie Hemaseth, the senior 5'11" middle hitter. Just puts it over, and quickly Waukee has tied this thing at 2. Cedar Falls trying to get their playmakers involved, and that's one of them right there, number 17, Olivia Yates. Elena Yates, she's already got a kill tonight in this match, and she'll send one over. And that's going to get down. Elena Yates going to get a block assist there. And the Tigers now lead 3-2. As Lexi Godfrey, the senior at 5'8", outside hitter, will serve here for Cedar Falls. That one's set up and set long by Ellie Hemerath, Sends it long, and it's quickly 4-2 for Cedar Falls. And a big, that one's going to get down on the Cedar Falls side. Hemasaf gets the kill. So Waukee gets it back, make it 4-3. And now Waukee's libero, Corey Knox, will serve, the junior 5'3" defensive specialist, the libero we talked about. Sends this one over the net. Here comes Brown on the all-tournament team last year for Cedar Falls. Waukee having some trouble. A battle for it at the net, taken by Cedar Falls. Here comes Brown again, a big strike. Blocked to the net, back to the Cedar Falls side. Brown for a third time. That one sent long. So Cedar Falls went to Brown 3 times. And Brown sent the last one just a bit long. And we're tied at 4. Serve taken by the Tigers. It's set up. Brown's blocked to the net. Back to the Cedar Falls side. Lena Green gets the block assist. Back to the Cedar Falls side, and it's going to be a point for Waukee, who has taken the lead. It's 5-4. This one's set up, just dumped over. Waukee having some trouble. They do finally get control of it, as Corey Knox is able to put it over. Brown comes with a strike, and it lands in the back row. That one's in. Keisha Brown gets the kill, her first of the set and her first of the match. Emerson Green now will serve for Cedar Falls. And Waukee cannot return it. And we've got a table flipped over. Good effort. And no, they do return it. Excuse me. Good effort there for Waukee. they're able to get it back to the Cedar Falls side, and Wedgbury is able to slam it home for Cedar Falls, who now extends their lead to 6-5. Serve coming from Green, taken by Waukee, and a kill attempt is into the net. The attempt there was Leanna Green, the junior 5'10" middle hitter. Went after it with the right hand, just not able to quite get it over the net. Here comes the serve from Cedar Falls. It's taken by Waukee. Again, they're going to go to the middle. And again, into the net is Leanna Green. And Cedar Falls on a run here. Their largest lead so far of the set. It's 8-5. Cedar Falls. Good dig there for the Waukee Warriors. Blocked to the net, back to the Waukee side. Corey Knox puts it over to Schlechter. Ainsley Schlechter got it off of the hands of Knox, and she's able to slam it home in the back row. Point Waukee, they kill the run, and are back to within 2. Smith will serve. Here for Waukee, taken by the Tigers. It's set up in the middle. Oh, man. What a smack home that was by Jada Golden Smith. The senior 5'9" middle hitter slams that one home on a set from Emerson Green. Playing in her 93rd set so far this year. Brown now serving. And Waukee, a battle for it at the net, and the Warriors put it over to the Cedar Falls side, and it goes the way of Waukee at the battle of the net. And it's back to a 2-point lead. It's 9-7 in favor of Cedar Falls. Serve over. Brown bumps it once. Now it's pushed over by Golden Smith. Quickly back to the Cedar Falls side. Emerson Green sets it up. A big strike taken by Waukee. It's touched a couple of times. Battle for it at the net. Taken back to the Cedar Falls side. It's dumped over. Waukee now sets it up. And another layover. Emerson Green just taps it over, and that's going to be a point for, oh, excuse me, that was Wedgbury. And she just laid it over, and it's taken here. And a point for Cedar Falls. Kirsten Graves will serve now the libero for Cedar Falls, and she sends it long. So that'll be a quick point for Waukee, who is back to serve again. Emerson Green sets it up. It is put over to the Waukee side. Can the Warriors return? They do. Brown with a nice dig. But a battle for it at the net is going to go the way of Waukee. Is Hemasaf at the net. The battle for it. She wins. And the ball lands on the Tigers' side. But what a dig that was in the back row by Brown. Emerson Green will set it up. Brown from the 10-foot line sends it long. So Waukee has battled all the way back to tie this one at 10. And will continue to serve. Right now dominating. Leanna Green, the junior, serves it up. And that one falls. Miscommunication there between Green and Kirsten Graves. Neither of them able to get it, and that one falls down. Waukee has battled all the way back and now leads 11-10. Looking now for their largest lead. Can they get it? They do. Waukee has battled back and now leads by 2. Waukee on a run and continuing to dominate. That will end the run, though, as a serve into the net, as the point will go to Cedar Falls. And for Cedar Falls, it's a breath of fresh air. They got the ball back. Now they get to serve, and they get to set up their offense the way they want to do it. Emma Wedgbury, the junior, will send this one over. Waukee will return, and it's into the antenna. It's into the antenna. It's going to be a point for Cedar Falls. Both line judges were waving their flags, saying that it hit the antenna, and so Waukee thought it was their point, but instead, when you hit the antenna, it's automatically out, and it's a point for Cedar Falls. So Cedar Falls gets one back, but now Waukee will get it back as that serve goes into the net. And Waukee returns to the lead, leading 13-12. Schlechter will return to the lineup. This is an IMT substitution. Fans, substitutions in today's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Yates able to put one down for Cedar Falls, and we're back to a tie ball game at 13. For Cedar Falls, Olivia Bronner will serve. Waukee at the net. Set, Brown, good dig. Set back up to Brown. Can she finish? She does. So Brown gets the dig. They set it back up to her, and she's able to slam one home and finish off the point. Cedar Falls back in the lead. Leads 14-13. Again, Bronner will serve. The sophomore 5'7" serves it up. It's bumped once now. Sent over, dug out by Cedar Falls. Emerson Green sets it up, and a big right arm battle for it at the net will land on the Waukee side. They will come over, and that one will get down. A big kill there for Waukee. That was number 7, Ellie Hesrath. And Nelson now will serve for Waukee. Kate Nelson, senior 6 foot. Another IMT substitution there as Nelson comes in to serve. Brown taps it over. That's going to get down. Acacia Brown is able to put it down. Another IMT substitution as number 3, Lexi Godfrey, will come back in to serve again. Her second time serving in this set. It's 15-14 in favor of Cedar Falls, the number 1 team in Class 5A. This one's sent up and sent long there by number 7, Ellie Heemsrath. Sends it wrong, so Cedar Falls back in the lead by 2. Can Cedar Falls extend their lead a little? Oh, Waukee was a little bit out of position, but they are able to return. Here's Brown with a strike. It's dug out, but dug out of bounds. Good attempt. At a dig there by number 20, Taylor Gobber. And Waukee wants a timeout. We'll take one as well. We're back in Cedar Rapids in just a few minutes here on the Iowa Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Crowded lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a different place. It's where we break from traditional college to do what's best for your career. It's about teaching the way you learn, having fun along the way, and giving you the experience you need for what comes next. A job and an income in as little as 1 year. That's why you go to college in the first place. Southwestern Community College. Your career starts here. Check out SWIC's career-related programs at swiciowa.edu/yourcareer.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids. Downtown, beautiful Cedar Rapids. It's the U.S. Cellular Center, as we are where we are located. Got 2 matches going on. The 2-7 matches going on across the way on court number 2. This is the 1 versus 8 matchup right here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. And it will be Cedar Falls who will serve, as it's Lexi Godfrey serving for the Tigers, who are wearing red this afternoon. Waukee, the number 8 seed, is in black and purple. Battle for it at the net, and it will go out of bounds off of Waukee, and it will be a point for Cedar Falls, and they're going to give a block assist there to Brown. So again, a serve coming over from Godfrey, taken by Waukee. It's set up, and a big strike and a kill there. Hemesath up to 3 kills now on the match. That's second out of any player on the match. Brown with 4 is the lead. Green sets it up to Brown, trying to go for 5, make it 5, as Akeisha Brown will slam this one home, her 5th, and Cedar Falls now opening up a lead at 19-15. And a serve coming again here from Cedar Falls. It's Green, taken by Waukee. It's sent up at the net. Cedar Falls will have an attempt at it, and Brown off the top of the net. It hits the line. It's in. Off these beautiful courts here from the IGHSAU, the pink and the black. Cedar Falls now up by 5. Make that 4, though, as the serve will go long. and the point will go to Waukee. An IM2 substitution as Megan Smith will come in to serve. All of our substitutions are brought to you by IMT. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Cedar Falls cannot return. That's an ace serve. Fans, with every ace during this year's tournament, Adrenaline Fundraiser will be donating $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group is interested in learning how to grow your fundraiser, give Adrenaline Fundraiser a call. Can Cedar Falls return? They can. Back to Waukee's side, a big smash. Emerson Green sets it up. Brown on the right side, the fadeaway. The fadeaway kill for Akeisha Brown. Falling backwards over the net, her 7th kill of the match. And we're in the first set, so I can say of the set as well. And after that good play, she will get an opportunity to serve. And it will be returned by Waukee, but kind of an awkward motion. Now Cedar Falls will send it over. Didn't get into their full offense. Waukee will get into their offense and sends it back over. Here comes Cedar Falls. Brown from the 10-foot line puts it home. Kill number 8 for Brown. And she puts it home, and she will get to go back and serve again. But first, Waukee wants a timeout. We'll take a break. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Waldorf University, we are warriors. On campus and online. In the classroom and on the field. Our work today will power tomorrow, continuing a rich tradition started in 1903. And once you're one of us, you forever are. Waldorf University, we are warriors.
Welcome back to downtown Cedar Rapids. The U.S. Cellular Center is our site. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Cedar Falls has their largest lead of the set. They lead 22-17 and are trying to close out set number 1, but Waukee is going to have something to say about it before we come to a conclusion. It is a Brown who will serve once again for Waukee, for Cedar Falls, wearing the red, and that is it right there. Waukee says we're still here, and we're going to keep fighting. A big kill there for Lyanna Green, the junior 5'10 middle hitter. She's well over 300 kills for the year and adds another one to that list. It's 22-18. Can Cedar Falls respond, or will Waukee go on a little bit of a run of their own? We'll find out here. This one's set up, over, dug out by Cedar Falls, but it's dug right back to the middle, and that's what a middle hitter is there for. Lyanna Green again. That's a middle hitter right there. 22-19, another serve coming over here for Waukee. Taken by Green. Green sets it up, and that's going to be a kill. Cedar Falls is shutting this down. Jada Golden-Smith shuts down the 2-point run for Waukee and gets the point back to Cedar Falls. Kirsten Graves, the libero, 5'10 senior, will serve, playing her 99th set this year, and she sends it a bit long. And the point will go back to Waukee. Now Waukee is going to want to go on a little bit of a run here. It's 23-22. They want to go on a little bit of a run. Just for the fact of you don't want to get Cedar Falls to set point when you still need 4. And there they go, 23-21. As they get one of their points back right there. Lyanna Green again will serve. A little bit of a pop-up serve taken by Cedar Falls. Green sets it up, and it is a kill in the middle. Elena Yates, the 6'6 middle hitter, slams that one home. It's now 24-21, and Cedar Falls is on the verge of taking set number 1. Wedgbury will serve. Waukee, far side set up and a kill. They're not done yet. Kate Nelson is able to get it home. Number 12, the senior 6-foot outside hitter. Lily Becker will serve. An IMT substitution as Ainsley Schlechter will come back in for Waukee. Green sets it up. Yates puts it over. Back to the Cedar Falls side. Yates again. Taken by Waukee nicely. Waukee will just put it over. Yates, though, at 6'6", just goes up and taps it with one hand. It's over. It's down. A point for Cedar Falls. They take set number 1. 25-22. Waukee, they fought. They scrapped, but were unable to get set number 1, but they still got plenty of time for sets 2 and sets 3. Or can Cedar Falls take a two-set lead? We'll find out when we come back to Cedar Rapids. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Volleyball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right, you decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
They say Buena Vista University is in the middle of a bunch of fields.
Hey guys, wait up!
Game on.
They say our idea of fun is morning tea.
And afternoon tea.
And anytime tea.
And we hang out like bumps on a log.
They say Storm Lake, Iowa isn't in the center of the action. And when we study, we're not exactly grounded.
But you know what we say.
You gotta see it to believe it.
If you want to save more,
If you want a butcher who knows more,
If you want fewer aisles and more value,
less quantity, more quality,
if you want more of this,
and this.
and this.
This is Fairway, and this is how we do more.
putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all into meat and grocery.
Putting our all and more into meat and grocery.
Hey, Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu.
Leaders start at Central College, and scholar athletes succeed on the court and in the classroom. In the past 12 years, 112 Central College student athletes received academic all-conference recognition. Learn how to become more than a spectator by visiting central.edu. Welcome back to Cedar Rapids, everybody. The U.S. Cellular Center in downtown Cedar Rapids as we were set, and we are getting set for set number 2 after Cedar Falls, the number 1 team, took set number 1. Again, I'm Zara Negastal, and as Elena Yates slams one home for the first kill of set number 2, I'm joined by Emery Songer, who made the trip down here and going to do color here in the next couple of sets, and maybe we'll go 5. Maybe we'll have a good one. Emery, how are you?
I'm doing good, sir. Zarin, I'm not going to tell you this. This is one of the most unique. Is good effort there. Gets a tip on the back line for a kill for the Warriors to tie it at 1, but this is one of the most unique state tournaments that you could have, with 4 different cheering sections getting loud at various times throughout the matches. Very, very fun, especially the first couple of days when everybody still feels like they have a chance. And we have an excellent matchup between 2 giants here in volleyball in the state of Iowa.
And another kill for Brown, now up to 9 kills in the match, her first of the set. And she has been incredible. Excuse me, they're not going to get her for a kill. Instead, it's going to be a block out of bounds on Waukee, but still a point for Cedar Falls. That's going to be an ace serve. And again, fans, just a reminder that all of our ace serves are brought to you by Adrenaline Fundraisers. Adrenaline is donating $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group is interested in learning how to grow fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraiser a call. And Brown with a nice save there. Emerson Green just going to push it over to the Waukee side. And That one got over, blocked down to the Cedar Falls side, and it'll be a 3-2 ball game. This was a very good match. I know you caught, you caught most of set number one. What did you see in set number one?
Well, definitely what you have to respect is Waukee is not going to be intimidated here. You obviously have a lot of weapons, and there you see right there, beautiful kill there. I believe that was Martins in the middle. Actually, that was Leanna Green, the junior middle hitter right there, was able, just that spinning ball over the net, put it away. But they're not going to be intimidated by a Cedar Falls team who really is something to behold. Just one loss all season, and I was really impressed with the way the Warriors carried themselves. But now they're a little bit behind the 8 ball here. Got to get this set, you would think, for them to have a chance.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to go 2 sets down. Now, as we saw last year at this state tournament, a couple of teams did the reverse sweep, went down 0-2, but came back. Nice dig there, but no.
Oh, they're going to say it was down. That is, they're going to give that point to Cedar Falls and Zarin. It looked like she was able to get her flat hand, the pancake move there, and it just seemed like the official just did not have a clear look at it. Unfortunate break there for the Warriors.
It was close. Danielle Kuhut Lynch, the head coach for Waukee, went out to ask a little questions, but to no avail. But Waukee comes back and able to find a point there.
There's Green once again. She kind of held herself in the air, hung in the air like MJ, and a little finger poke into the open space in the back row.
Just those vision. When you go up, those middle hitters have such good vision of where is open on the court when they go up. They're looking, scanning, find an opening, and are able to get it down. Cedar Falls comes back now. Oh, a battle for it at the net. Ends up on the Cedar Falls side. Both teams scrambling for it. That's going to be a block out of bounds, but a vicious ball hit there off the hands of Leanna Green.
She has definitely come alive here in the early going. We know how important these rotations are for them to be able to situate themselves in the right spot. And with Green in the middle here, nearly unstoppable in the early going.
As you mentioned, the giant of Cedar Falls, and Waukee knows who it is. They had them in the first round last year in the same matchup, and were unable to come away with the set. They definitely want to come away with the set, but they're thinking more than a set. They want a whole match, as they are now leading by 2 here in set number 2.
Not going to see a ton of miss hits, but from Acacia Brown in the back row, that is a low percentage opportunity, but certainly the player that Cedar Falls is going to continue to look to, even when she is in the back row.
One of the best to do it here in the state. And, of course, you're going to continue to go to her. Just a little miscommunication there on the point of Waukee. Haven't seen a lot of that. Waukee's been very solid offensively.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to talk about a team that, I mean, they did lose 11 games throughout, but this is a team that is bred to compete. You talk about they do have some history here. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be trying to up against the ropes here on this particular play, and there you see excellent job finding that open space in between everybody as they were scrambling around by Cedar Falls. But Waukee knows that they're the underdog, and like you mentioned, they know this team in this venue. But if you look at the two crowds here, this Cedar Falls team did not have very far to travel. They came in droves. They know their team has a shot to win a state championship, and Waukee's going to try to stand in their way.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the opening, if you're just joining us, Cedar Falls was 46-0 last year at the state championship matchup. As Yates, the 6'6" middle hitter, throws that one down. They were 46-0 last year, and Ankeny Centennial was able to get them in the championship match, and now Cedar Falls coming back for a little bit of revenge. They have one thing on their mind, and that's a state title. Yates, 6'6". What can you do about 6'6" at the net?
Those jousts are so interesting when you have two like-sized people. You're not going to see many 6'6" that are going to be able to match up with Ilana Yates. And that's when she's in the middle. It's almost like a black hole there for the opposition.
Waukee with an offensive move there. Come back. Here's Green, sets it up to Yates, and she just continues. That's her 6th kill of the set.
And it wasn't the fastball. What she does is she's got the vision of the whole court and found the open space and didn't try to overhit it, which you have to appreciate.
Graves sends this one over. The libero for Cedar Falls, who is setting. There's a good kill. That was a fastball.
Now see, Ella Peterson there said, forget this. If I don't see Yates in front of me, I am going with the four-seamer, and I'm going to find that back row. She's able to do so there. Excellent.
I would love to see the velocity of some of these balls going over the net. I probably wouldn't be able to believe it. I wouldn't even. I don't even know what I would guess as Yates gets another kill there. Her 7th. Now she's trying to challenge Brown. They probably having a competition who can get the most kills here in set number 1. But yeah, that would be cool to see the velocity of some of these balls. They are incredible. Good dig there for Cedar Falls. Able to keep it alive. Will it turn into a point for the Tigers? It will not, as Yates sends that one a bit long on a set from Green. A very experienced setter in Emerson Green, the senior, 5'11", has been doing it for a long time, and to be able to set for Cedar Falls, you got to be pretty good, and she is.
Well, and that's what you got to talk about too. That's the great job is you see Brown trying to make something happen and just a little miss hit on that back row. Overall, though, it's the rotations trying to make sure that you have at least one excellent attacker, maybe two attackers in that front row for the setter, but the passing is so underrated in volleyball. You got to make sure that you have the right people in the right places, and for a team like Cedar Falls, the setter, I think, is the most important position on the floor.
Olivia Bronner is serving now for Cedar Falls. She makes an amazing dig there. Back to Brown. Can Brown finish? No, she just lays it over to the Waukee side, able to set Waukee's offense up. Not able to finish it, though. Back to Brown. Can she slam it home? And she will. That was an amazing dig there by Olivia Bronner. That is going to be our Kruger Seeds dig of the match. What a great dig by Bronner. And it led for a point for Cedar Falls. Outstanding defensive effort there by Bronner. We are going to call that our Kruger Seeds dig of the match. The next time you're in the need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first name service. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back here. No, we're going to keep it right here. Excuse me. We're going to keep it right here. Emery, what have you seen from Cedar Falls that's just been a tad bit better here in set number 2 as they have a 4-point lead?
Well, it really has everything to do with who they're setting to. We talk about how good the passing needs to be for a setter. And when you have players like Acacia Brown and you have Elena Yates, two of the most prolific attackers that you're going to see in the Class 5A bracket in this tournament, those are players that just put balls away, and that's why you see 10 kills so far for Brown. That's why you see 6 kills so far for Yates. And right now they're in the middle together. They're up in the front row. That is a lethal combination, and that's what's going to make it difficult for Waukee. They have to play mistake-free volleyball.
Bronner with a short serve, obviously on purpose there. It got Waukee a little out of their offense, and Waukee still wasn't able to rebound. That was all set up by that serve by Bronner. A short serve got Waukee out of their offense. Even though it came back to the Cedar Falls side, Waukee was never able to set up.
And Emerson Green there, you're always thinking, where's she going to put the ball? And sometimes she just catches you off guard when she puts it over the net.
Another short serve. This time it is dug back to the Cedar Falls side, and Brown, she didn't even wait to see if that ball hit the court. She knew that she had it down. She just turns around now and she's laughing about it with everybody. Just lay it over, turn around.
This is the most dangerous part of the match for Waukee. They cannot fall too far behind and give up this set. Coming from 2-0 down against this Cedar Falls team, that is a tough ask.
And again, another one that is all set up by Bronner. Short serve, it comes right back to Yates, and when it comes to 6-6, she's going to put it home every day.
And there was a complete vacancy back by that fairway court logo. There was nobody within 10 feet of that. Wide open there for Yates to put it away.
Bronner again, this time a little bit harder of a serve. Waukee is able to return, but I don't think they got into the offense they wanted to there. Brown is blocked at the net, back to Green, over to Brown. Can she put it home? And she will. That's kill number 12 for Acacia Brown, and she continues to dominate.
Went back to her second time. You can tell that they just feel like they have a good matchup against the blocking, especially when Brown gets a full swing into it. Excellent passing from Green and more defensive miscommunication by the Warriors, and you can feel it kind of slipping through their fingers here in the second set.
They really need to stop this now. Brown, who is already committed to Mississippi State for next year. One of a lot of college commits we're going to see throughout this week. As Waukee will return and put it back over to the Cedar Falls side. Brown from that pink court. And, I mean, I could hardly see that ball. I mean, that was just incredible.
Well, and what was interesting is Green set her away as Waukee takes a timeout. She's so far off the net there, and she still gets plenty of velocity to put it down without any reaction from the Waukee defense.
Crazy. We're going to take a break. We'll come back here to Cedar Rapids. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At Casey's, we're here for early mornings and Friday nights. Here for the firsts and the traditions, through the good days and the tough times. We're here for the people who are here for each other. Casey's, here for our town, here for good.
Now at Casey's, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for just $9.99 each.
Back to downtown Cedar Rapids we go. It's the U.S. Cellular Center, and as Emery made note to earlier, great crowds on hand here, and when you have the 4 different student sections, last year we saw, the IOWA, you see the fun chants. Sometimes you get all 4 student sections involved with each other. It's so cool.
Yeah, and especially here early, a lot of people really just happy to be here as there's a joust that's going to end up being a point for Cedar Falls once again out of the timeout, leading 19-8, really in control here. But it's when we get later in the week that the intensity really ratchets up and the student sections grow even further, knowing they have a shot at potentially a state championship game. But all 4 of these student sections, specifically on this court for Cedar Falls, I mean, they obviously know this is the year. If something's going to happen for this team, it's going to have to happen now with seniors like Yates and Brown and Emerson Green. This is going to have to be the year for a state championship in volleyball, and certainly looking strong in the early going.
Absolutely. As we've mentioned, it's now a 20-8. That one's tipped, so it's going to be another kill for Brown, her 13th. And this one really has gotten out of hand quickly, as Bronner seems like she's been serving there for a full year now. It's now 21-8 in favor of Cedar Falls in Waukee, in danger of going down 2-0. But we know Waukee, they're going to keep fighting. They're going to keep trying to get everything they can. And right there, they're able to end the run now, get back to serving, and we'll see an IMT substitution. Fans, remember, substitutions today are brought to you by IMT. If you want to learn how to be worry-free, you can visit imtins.com. And coming in to serve is Ainsley Schlechter for Waukee. And back-to-back points, so here comes Waukee.
Green tried to get a little too cute there. You just want to set up your big hitter. You have both of them sitting up there in the front row with you, and Yates and Brown. Just set one of them up. I know that you got a big lead, but you want to try to put this second set away with no sweat.
And Cedar Falls now will be able to set up their offense with Brown.
Look out!
Yeah, we're playing dodgeball out there now. Acacia Brown, yes, you and you were all out after that one. Ping-ponged off a couple, and Brown up to 14 kills on the match.
I just say, as long as she's up there, keep feeding her until it stops working.
Oh, man. Waukee a little bit awkward there taking the serve. Now they got to try to get it over from the back row. A pop fly to the Cedar Falls side. Green knows what to do. Whoa, Green a little bit long that time, but Brown able just to tap it over. And the tap over almost worked. Now Brown will dig it. And this time they decide to stay away from Brown and Jada Golden-Smith, who's also having a good match as well. Now they'll go to Brown, and I don't know what you do there.
Well, she didn't hit that one as well. It's probably going to sail long, but considering how accurate she's been, you just can't dodge yourself out of the way. You know the way that she strikes. She doesn't make a ton of errors. And very well can hit the back line. You got to try to field that, and that's just put you in a terrible position considering that was kind of her changeup.
Cedar Falls now 2 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. Schlechter will put it back over to the Cedar Falls side, and Emerson Green just dumps it over.
Now, see, that one, she didn't have a choice. She was so close into the net. The only thing she could do was just try to pop it over and duck, get out of the way, so she didn't commit a net violation, and did so perfectly.
Godfrey sends it over. It's match set point, and that one will get down. It's going to be an ace serve to close out the set. Fans, remember, with every ace during this tournament, Adrenaline Fundraisers will donate $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group is interested in learning how to grow your fundraising, give Adrenaline Fundraiser a call. Set number 1 went 25-22 in favor of Cedar Falls. Set number 2 went 25-10 in favor of Cedar Falls. Again, Cedar Falls close it out in 3. We'll find out when we come back to downtown Cedar Rapids. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. Our city is buzzing. Catch what you've been missing today.
Businesses are hiring DMACC grads.
DMACC's tuned into what the employers in the central Iowa area are looking for. They offer those courses and degrees in those areas that makes it very highly marketable.
A majority of jobs available just require the technical skills, the hands-on skills that you get with a 2-year degree. DMACC is more a model of the future because the students are employable right away.
I think DMACC does a great job of preparing you for life.
DMACC, life's calling.
Back to downtown Cedar Rapids we go. Zarin Egestall, Emery Songer on the IGHSAU Digital Network, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company. And for Waukee, it is go time and go time quickly. They need to come out and make a statement early. They don't want to get down in this set, and they definitely cannot lose this set.
Well, considering how that second set went, you could feel just kind of a let up after they got down about 5 or 6 points. That's going to be the threshold here. Opportunity for Coach Danielle Cahoot Lynch to try to talk to these Warriors and say, look, guys, clean the slate. If we take care of business from now on, we will win this match. The only problem is you're taking on a hungry team looking to complete some unfinished business in a building that has some really nightmarish feelings for a lot of these players. A student section that has bought into this being the year, a bunch of players that has bought into this being the year. They have to play perfect defense, cannot make errors on the attack. It's a tough ask, but it is still possible for Waukee.
Yeah, and as we see the first serve go up, you mentioned the student section. There's really no open seats in that student section for Cedar Falls, but it's Waukee who starts off hot. They stop Cedar Falls from going on a run right away with the serve. They get the point, and now they get to have their serve. Can they make a run of it themselves? And a big dig right back to the middle of the net. And again, that's what you want from a middle hitter or an outside hitter. When that dig comes all the way back to the net, you want to go up, you want to slam one home, and Waukee quickly leading 2-0.
Just a little spinner there, got to control that dig. Waukee off to a good start, but immediately right on cue. When you got 6 feet 6 inches hanging out in the middle of the net, not a bad idea to look that direction from time to time.
And Emerson Green knows exactly where she needs to put it when she's setting to 6'6". She knows where to put it, and when she's setting to 6 foot, she knows where to put it. What a dream situation for a setter to have 6 foot and 6'6". And there's a big kill. Peterson able to find one for Waukee.
We talk about when you're a head coach of a really good volleyball team that has 2 exceptional hitters like Cedar Falls does. Coach Matthew Johnson's done an excellent job of working out his rotations to where he has at least one of those 2 players in the front row on the attack at all times. And a couple of moments where they're going to be on the front row together. I don't know how more lethal a front row can possibly be with 6 feet that can jump out of the gym and has one of the biggest fastballs you're going to see, and then 6 feet 6 inches that can block everything and is super accurate with her attacking, even if she doesn't necessarily hit it as hard as Acacia Brown. But 4-2 the Warriors here. They got to play from the front. You mentioned it earlier. It's definitely also one of those things you have to keep in mind is when you're on the serve for Waukee, you cannot make service errors at this point as well. You got to take advantage and make good serves located in good spots, try to create some havoc on the defense, but you can't serve it out.
4-2 is the lead for Waukee, who is serving. And this one will get over. Waukee will set. Oh, man. Green for Waukee, trying herself to get a spark lit here for Waukee. As you mentioned with Brown, you talked about Coach Johnson, but you also look at Kaz Brown, who is the sister of Acacia Brown, plays professional volleyball overseas. So, the coaching is just on another level.
And right there, she just powers through 2 sets of hands for the block. Don't forget, though, that Waukee does have a go-to hitter themselves with Green, Leanna Green for Waukee having a higher hitting percentage on the season than Elena Yates. Obviously, you got to take into account a lot of different factors when you're talking about that, and she tries to poke that over.
Good block.
And then she's going to go, this time she's going to go short side, and she's got a lot of size to her too, but like you mentioned, the pedigree's there for the Tigers. When you have a player of that caliber, like Brown's sister, who is overseas, able to play on a professional level, that just motivates everybody else. Like, maybe that can be me.
Yeah. Yeah, she comes back and helps out, and the coaching staff down there on the bench right now, and definitely helping these Cedar Falls Tigers as much as they can. But Waukee is the one that's got the early lead. It's 7-4.
Can't stop now.
Yeah, exactly. They need to keep going. They need to get this as high as they can. There's really no threshold here for Waukee.
And that's what we were talking about there. You just cannot hand Cedar Falls a point, get them back on serve, and that adjusts the rotations a little bit. And every time you rotate, that's another time closer that you're going to have Green out of the front row if you're Waukee, and you want to avoid that best you can.
Kirsten Graves, the libero for Cedar Falls, will now serve. And a big dig right back to 6-6. You can't do that, but Waukee is somehow able to save that one. I don't know where that came from. Back to Yates. Again, it's dug out by Waukee. And again, dug right back to Brown. She didn't make him pay the first time. She almost did the second time she made her pay. You do it once, okay. You do it twice, not going to happen.
She's got such great range, and you either have to get it completely over her or well outside of her. Otherwise, she's going to reach for it, and she's going to make good contact with it.
Again, the serve, short serve, trying to just bounce it over the net. Instead, a little bit more of a risky serve goes into the net. A point for Waukee. Cedar Falls was able to get a couple to bring it back to within bring it back within 2, but now Waukee gets one to take it back up to 3. Yates down. And you see there, Waukee just trying different ways of trying to dig those serves. Didn't work that time.
Now that you have this kind of weird combination where you have 2 hitters on the front and the back for Cedar Falls, you're just trying to put it in a spot where they can't make a good decision of where they want to put the ball. Unfortunately, it's a lot easier said than done.
Absolutely. Here comes Yates again, and not a chance. As that's a kill for Yates, who's now into double digits kills. The big 2 of Yates and Brown have 26 kills, and we're only in the beginning stages of set number 3. So far in this match, and that'll be a point for Cedar Falls. A miss hit there on Ellie Heemsrath, not able to get it over.
Yeah, and it's really not her fault. The set that took her completely out of the play there, but it is that mixture of I can set it to 2 different places and have that efficiency, and you see another miss hit. This was a miss hit by Kate Nelson on that far side, and now all of a sudden Cedar Falls has a 1-point lead. Which shows you how quickly things can turn when you're playing a team this good. But it all really, Green does an excellent job as the setter for this Cedar Falls team, making sure that you can't get comfortable with who the hot hand is going to be. It could change at any moment.
Yeah, just incredible. Cedar Falls was down by 4, and now all of a sudden a blink of an eye, and they're back up by 1 and make that 2. As I don't think that was blocked. That just went into the net and bounced back onto the the Waukee side. They had already hit it 3 times, so either way, that was a Cedar Falls point. If it was touched, it would have been 4 hits. Instead, it falls to that beautiful black court, black and pink court. That's one of the things that highlights this state tournament is the beautiful, I mean, everything is just great.
Yeah, it's hard to complain about the setup. This is, like I said, as the Warriors pick up a much-needed point here, this is as unique a vibe as you're going to get for a state tournament. Boys, girls, I don't care what you're talking about. And it's something you just got to come experience because this is a cool building as well.
Yeah.
But right now with Joaquin, there's exactly what we were talking about earlier. You got to control that dig, give your team at least a chance to set up an offensive point. Otherwise, it's just going to be this little eephus pitch that's sitting on top of the net just waiting to be hit by a middle hitter.
Yeah, and Kate Nelson there able to put it home, senior at 6 foot. Now Yates is blocked to the net, back to the Cedar Falls side. Yates again, this time can't be reached, and all of a sudden Cedar Falls leads by 1. Yeah, I mean, and the way that the girls are treated around here by the IGHSAU, I mean, they're almost like rock stars. I mean, between the post-game press conferences and the pink road that they walk on, a brick road that they walk on to get into this building, and just everything that the IGHSAU does just puts on a rock star performance here for these girls who some of them, in some teams here, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not for either of these two teams, but for some teams this week. Long rally going here. Yates just pushes it over back to the Waukee side. What can Waukee do? And they're just going to allow Cedar Falls to reset. Here comes Brown, and Brown will find her 17th kill of the match.
Those last 2 points were made by Emerson Green. The first one where she got Yates a block, set it just a little bit higher next time, and she was still able to get a good strike on it and get it over the block that time. That time just right in the wheelhouse. And then again, there's one of those uncontrollable digs that just kind of spin over the net. Yates isn't going to miss that opportunity, but the 2 points prior to that really show you the brilliance of a player like Emerson Green, who was able just to put it in a spot to allow her hitters to succeed.
Yeah, a big dig like that as the serve goes out of bounds, and Waukee will again get a much-needed point. It feels like we've said that a couple of times.
Well, and 2 of the big points, Zarin, have been on missed serves, surface errors.
Yeah, those big digs right back to Yates are almost like hanging curveballs to a professional baseball player. They're just juicy up there for Yates.
It's a spinner.
Yeah, that time she's blocked to the net. It's hard to block 6'6", but Lily Becker is able to do so, along with Kate Nelson. And Nelson will be back to serve here for Waukee now. Brown sends that one a bit long.
That's a tough angle to receive a pass coming from almost directly behind you. And she's not going to get cheated. When she wants to take a strike, she's not going to just try to place the ball. She says, I feel confident enough in my skill set. I'm going to be able to put this fastball down there even if the ball's coming from a weird direction.
Brown again from the 10-foot line. Set up by Waukee, and that one sent long there. Lily Heemsrath just sends that one a bit long. That's an IMT substitution. All substitutions today are brought to you by IMT. You can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Corey Knox will come in. No, excuse me, check that. That's Lexi Godfrey who will come in and serve for Cedar Falls. And a kill for the Tigers. That's Jada Golden Smith. What a wonderful name that is.
Golden Smith.
Jada Golden Smith.
And a kill efficiency that she's got at 428. I mean, you can't sleep on her either.
No.
She's a player that she can give you 5 or 6 in a set if things are going well. There's a great scramble from Waukee.
And Smith just sends this one a bit long. No, see, Smith is one of those players that kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit between Yates and between Brown. I mean, you kind of lose Golden Smith, but she's one of those athletes that could probably start on most, if not all, teams within the state. I mean, she's one of those girls as well, as Brown tries another fadeaway. We saw a fadeaway jumper a moment ago in set number 1 before you joined us by Brown. It was incredible. It looked like she was shooting a three-pointer fading away and was able to get a kill out of that one. 15-15 is our score.
That's a good look.
Beautifully placed.
Just thought about it long enough to not just put it straight down into players, just kind of guided it away from them. And that's what if you look at Jaden Golden-Smith's numbers, she is basically at least 3rd or better on the team in pretty much every statistical category. There's a miss hit on the reception. And the Warriors now a 2-point lead, so they're still hanging in here. But looking right now at this Cedar Falls team, now they're going to call timeout and try to adjust some things, but Waukee has done everything they need to do to hang around here in the third set.
Yeah, that was an ace serve, fans. Hey, every ace served during this year's tournament, Adrenaline fundraisers will donate $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group is interested in learning how to grow your fundraiser, give Adrenaline Fundraiser a call. And that was ace number 10 so far on the match between both of these teams, which means $50 will be given back to the IGHSAU. 10 aces, $5 a piece. And not always can I do math, but sometimes I can, and that equals $50 back to the IGHSAU.
Who needs math? Except everybody.
Yeah, the math teachers at home watching here, maybe Cedar Falls or Waukee math teachers watching this one, not very happy with us. But
well, hey, look, we took it for granted, and now we're realizing that there are a lot of applications to it in real life.
Yes.
Especially in sportscasting.
Absolutely. Brown puts this one over, and a little bit of a scramble. Cedar Falls comes back, and Brown hits it into the net. As you see the twirl of the line judges, means the point will go to Waukee. And out of the timeout now, Waukee with a 3-point lead. This is what they need, but they can't give up a Cedar Falls run now. They got to put their foot on the throttle and keep going.
Little joust.
Ooh.
Ow. That's good awareness there on this near side by Schlicker. Okay, so going back to where she hit the pole, that's on the edges there, you can't hit the pole. That's just Brown losing a little bit of awareness of where exactly she is. But like I said, she's going to trust her natural abilities as this serve is out. That's a tough point to lose there without having Cedar Falls put it in play when they felt like they were up against the ropes here. But that just kind of shows you the player that Acacia Brown is. She is going to just trust where she is and her natural abilities to try to put the ball in, even with full swings all the time. As there's an excellent kill right out of the middle. Perfect pass, setting up Leanna Green, who continues to be the most effective player in putting balls away for the Warriors, and now just 5 points away from getting on the board.
Yeah, and Waukee has not taken a set from Cedar Falls since 2013.
Well, another miss hit this time by Olivia Bronner, who we talked about defensively, has been excellent in this match so far. Sometimes just those mental lapses and that 2-0 lead can sometimes give you a little bit of a mental lapse just because you can relax a little bit. But knowing Cedar Falls, you can't leave them for dead yet.
No.
Oh my
man, somebody's got to check out and make sure that Megan Smith is okay after she just took a fastball off the arm of Brown, and I think everybody now just checking on her. She nods, yes, I'm okay, but man, those balls coming off the hands of Brown are just incredible. Cedar Falls getting the serve back now as they trail by 4. Green sets this one up, decided not to go to Golden Smith, instead went to the far side, and a nice little play there by Emmy Wedgbury.
I'm telling you right now, do not sign me up to be in front of one of those Acacia Brown kills.
I wouldn't even do it for, I wouldn't do it for a lot of things. Man, oh man. Those come off quickly. Waukee is able to return. Got a little bit out of funk there. Golden Smith puts it over. Amazing little save there by Waukee, but back to Golden Smith. And she throws one home.
Matthew Johnson and the entire bench over at Cedar Falls, they were asking for a double hit on the pushover. They thought that a double hit occurred, and Jada Golden Smith says, I got this. Relax, everybody. I'll put this away and get another kill on my stat sheet.
Brown pops this one up. Green now Smith. Back to the Cedar Falls side. A little teeter-totter on the net. Here comes Brown. And she slams one home. Cedar Falls now back to a 21-20 lead. And that is going to be a timeout. Timeout, Waukee. And we'll take a break. We're back to Cedar Rapids in a moment. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
Iowa Public Television is the home of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Championships. we bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of the state championships in volleyball, basketball, soccer, and softball. Plus, special features highlighting the Iowa girl. Catch it all on statewide Iowa Public Television, on air or at iptv.org.
To Cedar Rapids, it's the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. I'm Zarin Eggestall, along with Emery Songer. And Emery, we were talking about the last time that Cedar Falls had dropped a set to Waukee was 2013, but the last time that Waukee has won a match against Cedar Falls, we have to go all the way back to August of 2011.
I don't even remember what I was doing in 2011.
I was in high school in 2011.
Cedar Falls is really talking about how great this program has been over the years, as now they have tied this game up after being down by 5, and really not an indictment on Waukee at all. This team just doesn't lose matches, the Cedar Falls team.
They don't. They've only lost 2 sets all year to Iowa teams, and they've only lost 5 all year to Iowa and out-of-state teams. Do have that 1 loss out of Kansas. And Peterson gets the kill. Waukee is back in front. St. James Academy out of Kansas is the only loss this year for these Cedar Falls Tigers, as they ran through their Iowa stretch of the schedule. That's why they are the unanimous #1 seed. And Waukee now with a 2-point lead, only 2 points away from taking a set.
Yeah, Kate Nelson, the beneficiary of, again, just an out-of-control dig and reception. The Tigers are going to call timeout here. Great job getting the kill on the previous point, and then just a defensive adjustment that needs to be made. Overall, though, you got to give credit to Waukee. They are not blinking here, knowing that Cedar Falls has been coming.
And we mentioned that after set number 2 that, Waukee just got themselves in too big of a hole in set number 2, got themselves a little bit out of funk, and Cedar Falls kind of just exploited that. Now Waukee is right back into their offense. They've been able to play well. They're right back into it. And you can see that Waukee is not a slough team at all, and they're going to keep fighting.
Well, like you said, it's even to win a set has been a hurdle that this team has struggled with against these Cedar Falls Tigers. They're 2 points away from getting it done now. Can they finish the job and keep this match alive to a 4th set?
And they've got the serve, and they will send it over. What will Cedar Falls do offensively? And they will go to Brown from the 10-foot line. Waukee. Green at the net, battled for, back to the Waukee side. Green again blocked to the net, again set up, another battle for it. Waukee brings it home.
Now, it was those jousts that we talked about. It's tough to beat Cedar Falls at just because of their sheer size and their strength. Right there, excellent job by Lily Becker getting it done to set up set point.
24-21. Can Waukee take a set from the Giant? As Cedar Falls puts it over, Waukee a little bit out of funk there. Green just has to tap it over. Now Green on the Cedar Falls side, and Golden Smith is into the net. And Waukee takes set number 3. Waukee stays alive, 25-21. We head to set number 4. Now Waukee has to go on another big run. They have to keep doing it. They have to keep doing what they did here, as they have to try to take another one. As we mentioned, the first set they've taken from Cedar Falls since 2013, and it's a big one.
I will tell you this. I wasn't as impressed with them finishing that set as responding when a 5-point run on the serve of Acacia Brown got Cedar Falls level at 21. They didn't blink. Like I said, Coach had to call a couple of timeouts. They were able to, sit back and say, look, our season is on the line here, and they did not back down from that. Able to get themselves in a position here. If you can win 1 set, Zarin, you can win 2 sets. And if you can win 2 sets, dare I say it, you can win 3 sets.
Yeah.
It's a tough ask against a team of this caliber, but now you know you can.
Well, let's see what we get out of set 4 when we come back to downtown Cedar Rapids. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Crowded lecture halls? Not anymore. Southwestern Community College is a different place. It's where we break from traditional college to do what's best for your career. It's about teaching the way you learn, having fun along the way, and giving you the experience you need for what comes next. A job and an income in as little as 1 year. That's why you go to college in the first place. Southwestern Community College. Your career starts here. Check out SWC's career-related programs at swciowa.edu/yourcareer.
Back to beautiful downtown Cedar Rapids, chilly, cold downtown Cedar Rapids, I should say. It's the U.S. Cellular Center, beautiful facility. It's the IGHSAU Digital Network and the IGHSAU State Volleyball Championships. I'm Zaron Egasol, joined by Emery Songer as we get set for set number 4. Cedar Falls leads 2-1. Cedar Falls will be on the left. They wear red, and Waukee will be on the right. They wear purple with or black with purple and yellow. I had to go through my color wheel there for a moment. Actually,
hey, we have so much other prep that we're worrying about. Sometimes it's easy to forget the good stuff.
Yeah, the colors. As Cedar Falls starts with a point, and that's not what Waukee wanted to see. And we have a conclusion over on court number 2. We'll talk about that in a little bit as Brown will pick up her 20th.
That's what the doctor order there is try to establish Brown, and then when she gets back in the front, Yates early and often here. Get yourself that little bit of a cushion because we saw Waukee kind of fold a little bit when they got down 5 or 6 points in that second set.
Big block at the net, and that one will get down. This is tough for Waukee. They don't want to be in this kind of a hole early, trailing 3-0.
And you almost wonder if they, blew through the magazine a little bit too quick there, but we talked about it. You have to throw everything at your opposition when you're playing an opponent this tough in Cedar Falls. You just hope that you have enough energy and enough ability to try to get yourself through another 25-point set.
Yeah, and there they go. They're able to get a point down between 2 of the big 3. They're Golden Smith and Brown trying to get the block, assist, and said Waukee is able to get it down. They get a kill, and now they get the serve back, only trailing by 2. Smith is blocked at the net. Will they go back to Smith? They do. Golden Smith over, taken by the Waukee Warriors at the edge, blocked by Golden Smith and by Brown again. Emerson Green just finds a hole in the defense and slams it home.
Part of being a great setter is with, you have all your focus on the ball coming down. You want to give a good a set or a good pass to whoever you're going to. Make sure that that's accurate. But at the same time, out of the corner of your eye, you can see kind of the space there, and Green is one of the best to do it in finding that extra space, and she's going to get an ace here as well. Also, lethal on the serve, Emerson Green.
Absolutely. Fans with every ace during this year's tournament, Adrenaline fundraisers will donate $5, another $5, now up to $55 to the IGHSAU to support future state volleyball events. If your group needs a fundraiser, make sure you contact Adrenaline. A big block of the net as Brown. Well, you're going to get a big block when you're trying to block Brown because she hits it so hard. It's kind of like the old saying, the harder it comes in, the harder it goes out, and that works for volleyball as well as Cedar Falls extends their lead, now 6-1.
It needs to be like that because as there's a serve out by Green, which gives the Warriors a little bit of a reprieve here down 6-2, but you have to keep those arms strong because if you don't have those strong arms and try to ricochet it like a wall even, I mean, she's just going to power it right through you, and you're not going to have a chance to even keep the point alive. Another miss hit, this time in the back row by Olivia Bronner, who's the last couple of sets we're seeing a little bit more defensive lapses from her, but she's been excellent in digging. And if you're back here and you're a defensive specialist who also specializes in serving, there's the good old announcer jinx, by the way, with the serve into the net there from Corey Knox. That how to spot players that are struggling a little bit defensively, and that's what we were seeing there on that first serve.
Knox has 53 aces this year serving, but wasn't able to get anything going that time. And now Cedar Falls unable to get anything going.
And I was about to say the Acacia Brown serve was where they went on their big run in that third set. This time she didn't even give them really a chance. And sometimes when you're going for points off the serve, that will happen.
Megan Smith is an IMT substitution. Be worry-free by visiting imtins.com. And Smith serves. Cedar Falls got it back to the Waukee side, and Waukee is blocked by Jada Golden-Smith, who will leave as well as Yates will come back in.
Cannot be trading points at this juncture if you're Waukee. You got to string a couple together. You cannot let them get out in front of you by 6, 7, 8 points.
You know, a 10-point run seems like a mountain to climb, but that's almost what Waukee needs right now. It would be a 10-point run, and they start with one here as Green on the outside slams one home. Usually plays in the middle, but can slide out to the right side or play the outside as well. And she slams one home. Iowa City Liberty won that last set, as we were talking about. They lead Pleasant Valley in the 2 versus 7, 2-1. So each court right now at a 2-1 lead. And they had 12 aces over on their side. We've had 11 so far. A lot of money, over $100 already going to the IGHSAU for future state tournament events. Thanks to Adrenaline Fundraiser. 9-5 is our score here in favor of the Cedar Falls Tigers. And Waukee going to try to get something going here with their offense. Here's Green. This is Nelson now, who laid it back over. And now Green for Cedar Falls sets it up to Yates, and she slams it home, her 12th of the match.
Elena Yates is the kind of player that you may not need a setter every single time, but if you can just let the defense have to move around a little bit, she is going to have a huge spot in the middle of the floor where she's going to just be able to put it straight down with her at that 6-6 frame. Excellent job by Green, waiting for the right moment.
And now Brown going after a diving dig. Able to pop it up and allow Cedar Falls to get it back to the Waukee side. Nelson with a big strike. Here comes Brown at the net. This one to go out of bounds. A big strike there out of another name that we haven't talked about a lot, but Katie Remmert, actually a freshman at 5'10", and that's incredible when you can have 5'10" freshmen who play that well at this level.
Well, and Emmert, while she's played in a lot of sets, definitely not utilized a ton. You can kind of tell she's working into the rotation, and credit to Emerson Green finding the right time in the game to try to work her in, get her confidence built up, because you will need a third and fourth option as you move forward in this tournament, assuming they finish this. But great timeout here by Danielle Cahoot. Lynch making sure that this 6-point margin is as big as it gets, because you're asking a mountain to climb. You got to get 3 or 4 here, lose a point. Get 3 or 4 more, maybe lose a point, and then 3 or 4 more just to get yourself level with this team. Like you said, you don't want to have to get it all in one shot, and they are in dangerous position to have to potentially do that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you know, that seems more realistic, 3 or 4 at a time. But for Waukee, it's almost that point now where they're going to need 12, 10, between 10 and 12 points to go on a run, and that still would only leave them with a small single-digit lead if they were to go on a 12-point run. So they're going to need one of those coming up here very shortly, if not right now. This serve is Wedgbury. And this point's going to go to Cedar Falls as Cedar Falls just continues to dominate. Sets 1 and sets 3, we've seen good play from Waukee, and they've been right there. Sets 2 and sets 4 so far have been a little bit shaky for the Warriors, who are going to try to keep their season alive. Nelson, woo-hoo. And that's one of those harder it goes in, harder it goes out plays. Nelson slams one, and it goes right into Brown, who's trying to joke with her teammates now about how she was trying to take that one. That actually landed into the seats here at the U.S. Cellular Center. Somebody's got a souvenir.
This is the part of the match where Waukee's just going to have to check themselves mentally, because this is where you got to try to keep yourself in it, down 6 points.
Nelson, it's dug out. What a great dig there from Graves. And it will not lead to a point, though, as Waukee gets one.
Remmert there, they try to set her up again, the freshman, a little bit long this time. You got to keep finding ways to try to make them want to go to Remmert here, as there's another miscommunication on the serve. Excellent job out of that back row. Leanna Green with an excellent serve, finding that little space, kind of handcuffed Emmy Wedgbury there, and she just wasn't able to handle it. Another couple of points here, Zarin, and they're right back in the thick of this.
Yeah, another adrenaline ace serve there for Waukee.
I thought that was touch at the net. Cedar Falls thinks it was touch at the net, but all the officials agreed it was not touch. That is a huge break for Waukee.
Absolutely. Waukee now back to within 3 as they will continue with serving. Graves takes the serve, sets up the green. Now Brown slams one home. Kill 22 for Keisha Brown.
We saw, that's what I said with the Warriors, though. Get 4. Maybe you can give up 1, but you have to get it right back. 22nd kill for Brown. I love that Emerson Green said, forget this, we need a point, and went to her leading attacker.
Now another big run for Cedar Falls in set number 2 came when Olivia Bronner was serving, and she's serving now, but it'll be a one and done for Bronner as it's a block out of bounds. Kate Nelson.
Nelson with that was way more on the attack than it was on the block. The block was in good position, but perfect angle into the block, put it out of bounds.
Bronner takes this one, set up by Green. Here's Yates over. Nelson for Waukee will just lay it over. Bronner takes, now Yates slams it home. It's 14-10.
Like I said, when you have 6'6", when she lifts her arm up, she's probably closer to 8.5 feet that she can reach the volleyball. She's not going to have anybody that can block that if she is just reaching up and tipping it somewhere that there is space, and that's exactly what she did there. A much-needed point for Cedar Falls. Lexi
Godfrey will come in and serve here for Cedar Falls. Another IMT substitution. All substitutions today are brought to you by IMT, IMTINS.com. If you want to learn how to be worry-free, and Waukee trying to be worry-free with a run here as they will start off with a point there for the Warriors.
Ainsley Schlicker, again, a senior, 5'9". Not the premier attacker, but certainly a serviceable one, especially if you give her an opportunity like that.
Green, the experienced setter, gives it to Brown, who tries to smack one home, but instead Waukee says, hold on, we want an opportunity at it, but they send it long. Waukee now asking for a tip. The back judge, the official here on the right side, says touched. Matthew Johnson not liking that one as Cedar Falls didn't get their touch, but now Waukee got theirs.
Now see, I'm up here. It's tough for me to see both of those plays, but it looks like Waukee got the benefit of 2 really close calls that I think would, in more likelihood, both have been Cedar Falls points. But here, then a tip out of bounds, and all of a sudden Waukee has pulled this thing within a couple of points. I told you a few minutes ago, it's 1 point actually. I told you a few minutes ago, you got to think about it instead of like maybe 9 or 10 points all at once. You have enough time to maybe think in it like a 12-3 run more reasonably, and that's exactly what they've done here and gotten themselves right back in the match with plenty of time left to go.
We'll take a quick break here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. And actually, with that, we will instead keep it right here as our teams break the huddle. Coach Matthew Johnson, they called the timeout, but he
had very little to say to his team.
Very little to say, and both teams will break the huddle now and head back to the court. And that's kind of Coach Johnson's MO. He wants a timeout to slow down the momentum, but he knows his players know what they need to do. He doesn't need to tell them.
There's nothing he could tell them at this point that they don't already know. It literally was just to try to spike this a little bit, give his players a breather, try to win this point and get them back on the right track.
Nelson serves here for Waukee, and Golden Smith raises up the right arm and smokes one home.
Sometimes you just need a little breather.
And now Cedar Falls back, leading by 2. The setter, Emerson Green, will serve. And that's an ace. That's an ace serve. Fans, with every ace, that is the 13th ace we've had now on this court. With every ace served during this tournament, Adrenaline Fundraiser will donate $5 to the IGHSAU to support future state tournament events just like this one. Thanks, Adrenaline Fundraiser. This one over. Oh, Golden Smith, maybe just a mistimed jump there. Couldn't quite catch up to it. Back to the Waukee side. Bronner, a nice play in the back row, and now we're going to have some more battles for it at the net. Who is going to come out with this one? Brown from the 10-foot line says, here, can I have 23? No, says Waukee. Again, Green sets it up far side. Brown will get 23.
Hey, that to me was the rally of the match for both teams. Both teams kind of scrambling. There are multiple jousts at the net. Both teams were able to keep it alive, and eventually the best attacker on the floor was able to get a a clean swing at the net and put it away, and I think that is a pivotal point in this match, putting the Tigers up by 4. And now it's 5 because of the miss hit, and there you kind of had that mix-up there. It wasn't a great pass. It's going to be a timeout for Waukee. That's Matthew Johnson at his finest. He didn't have to say anything to his team, called a timeout and said, look, just go out there and execute, and they scored 4 straight points, put themselves back up 5 and in prime position to move on.
It's time to announce today's Casey's Player of the Match. Today's honors will go to Acacia Brown from Cedar Falls. She has put together a pretty stellar performance with 23 digs so far, though it's not over yet, so she can still add to it, but she has put through 23 kills and a spectacular match so far for Cedar Falls. Fans, Casey's General Store is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's Player of the Match. Casey's is the heart of many Iowa communities and cheering on our local teams and fans, making sure that there is fresh pizza ready to go, win or lose. Visit Casey's.com or the Casey's mobile app for easy ordering and specials. And once again, congrats to Acacia Brown from Cedar Falls on being today's Casey's Player of the Match. And of course, well-deserved for Brown being our Casey's Player of the Match, as Cedar Falls has opened up a 5-point lead, trying to close this one out. Here comes Brown, blocked at the net, and Waukee says, hey, we're not out of it yet. They come back with a point.
Ainsley Schlicker's had a really nice match. It's not going to pop out of there with the box score. She's been in the right place an awful lot. She has gotten pieces of some kills set, allowed some of her teammates to allow to run some offense here. She's had an excellent match from my vantage point.
Brown trying to get another one. She will make that 24 now for our Casey's Player of the Match.
Ella Peterson right there. You feel for her because she's in the right spot. She needs to have at least another, 3 hands there to try to block the power of Brown when she's that close to the net.
Brown will be serving now, as with a lot of good plays. Then all of a sudden you come up to serve, and Waukee ends it right there. And Waukee makes it 19-15.
There's no clock working against you. If you can string together another four-point run here, you're still right in the thick of this match.
That's what I love about volleyball. You know, in any other sport that we play for the most part, as that's an error they definitely did not want there. Smith sending it just a bit long, but that's what's cool about volleyball is, you could be down by 20, and there's no clock. You can spend all the time you want getting back.
Still have to get to that magic 25 or 15 number.
And that will be an errant serve now for Cedar Falls.
The two liberos trade off service errors here, and we're right back to where we started from.
Yeah, that's with Cedar Falls with a 4-point lead, and for Waukee, a run needs to be had. And Ella Peterson will serve here, the junior at 5'9", the outside hitter serving. Here's Yates, and another point for Waukee. Back-to-back points. That's what Waukee needs, as you mentioned. They're close enough now within 3 points. They just can't have one and dones. They need 2 or 3 at a time.
And they have time to do it if they can do that.
Definitely can't go let Cedar Falls go on a run, because a run would end it. Here's Remmert, the freshman, will send it over, and that's what you need for Cedar Falls, is some freshmen getting some experience, because as you lose all these seniors, coming up after this run, they're going to want to keep rebuilding and reloading.
And she's solid. Her kill efficiency is near 200. She is certainly no slouch as a third or fourth option on the team. But right here, I need Brown. I need Yates if I'm Cedar Falls to try to put this thing away.
This one's sent up. Brown from the 10-foot line lays it in there, and that will get down. As you see a couple of opportunities, maybe a kick save from Megan Smith. Some people don't know, but you can use just about every extremity you want to save the volleyball, including your foot.
And what I love about Brown there from the back, as you mentioned, the 10-foot line, didn't want to go with the fastball, went with a little bit of a change-up and dropped it in perfectly to the space on the floor.
Here's Green, sends it long, but it's a tip. And so it'll be a point for Waukee, and the Warriors, that's what they need, though. They did good. They got a couple of points. They had Cedar Falls on a one-and-done, and now they got the serve back.
And you get a point here, you're within 1.
Yeah, and Green, after making a nice play, will be the one who will serve. And Emerson Green for Cedar Falls, though, gets a point back.
Now see, again, that one more necessity than it was her trying to be creative. Right at the top of the net, didn't have really any options, and then just flicked it into a spot where Waukee couldn't field it.
22-19 is the score, as we will see a serve up by Bronner. Again, we mentioned Bronner's the one. She has a mixed bag of serves. And she likes the short one, but she can go with the fastball. Over from Brown. Back, this is Nelson for Waukee. Will lay it in, and the finger touch will go.
Little teardrop, and there was a giant space in the middle of the floor there, the way that it was set up defensively by Cedar Falls, and Waukee's still hanging around, but now time's running out.
Emmy Wedgbury had an opportunity. She dove at it, but was not able to catch up to it. Can Cedar Falls get back into the score column here? 22-20, or can Waukee set up another run? Green at the net to Brown, looking for 25 or 26, and she does.
Well, it seems like Waukee they're a little careful. They don't want to commit an error and give Cedar Falls a point, but in doing so, really never gave Cedar Falls the threat of them actually trying to put a point away. Can't play it that way now. You got to be aggressive.
26 kills on the afternoon
Huge
for Brown.
Kill for Nelson there as well. And trading points is fine when you're tied. We are not tied, so Waukee absolutely has to have this point, otherwise they're facing a match point.
Yes, and that was, as you mentioned, a big kill for the fact that it leaves Cedar Falls still 2 points away from having a winner. Nelson serving here for Waukee, and Brown makes it 27, and she hammers it home. And now Cedar Falls is 1 point away from advancing again on to the semifinals. And it will be the setter Green who will serve for this last point. Waukee needs 5 straight to keep it going. They need 6 straight to maybe have a winner. And there's one. You got to slowly chip away now. Chip, 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 and they got one.
And like I said, you can't be careful. You can't be afraid to make an error here because you don't want to give Cedar Falls an easy opportunity to attack and put it away.
Over the net. This one is laid over to the Waukee side. Waukee's got to be very careful with every ball. None of them can hit the floor on their side. Green sets it up. Far side, Brown. Can she finish it? No. Waukee, Green, over, and it's a point. That ball goes under the net, which is against the rules.
Now see, they did it the right way. They went for it on their hits. They weren't too careful with it, and they did a great job defensively on the Brown attack.
Waukee has got to have this point to keep it alive. A little bit of a miss on the serve receive. Brown lays it over, taken by the Warriors. Warriors need the point, and they get it. It's blocked out of bounds by Brown. Waukee has scored 3 straight points and have tied it at 24. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. We'll come back here in just a moment from Cedar Rapids. It's the IGHSAU State Tournament.
At Waldorf University, we are warriors. On campus and online. In the classroom and on the field. Our work today will power tomorrow, continuing a rich tradition started in 1903. And once you're one of us, you forever are. Waldorf University, we are warriors.
Welcome back to downtown Cedar Rapids. It's the IGHSAU Digital Network presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company. It's the 1 versus the 8, and we're tied at 24. Here in set number 4. Waukee needs a 2-point run, and they get it. They get one of them. Waukee is now 1 point away from sending this on to a decisive Game 5.
Well, it's fairly miraculous the way they've done this, but they never got away from who they were, which is why they're in a position here to try to force a decisive 5th set.
So Cedar Falls needs a couple of points, at least one to keep it going. They're on the hook right now, and they send it to Brown, who sends it over. Taken by Waukee. And it's in! Waukee wins!
Wow, unbelievable. The put away by Ella Peterson, but like I said, a team effort. Mentally, they had match point against them, 24-21, and to rattle off 5 straight points against that team to put this into a decisive 5th set. Color me completely shocked. You never want to ride out an underdog, but at the same time, this is a juggernaut, this Cedar Falls team. The kind of players that they have to fend off several Acacia Brown attempts after she has a 27-kill night already. Unbelievable job by this Waukee Warrior team, and now an opportunity potentially for an upset with a 115-point set.
It's 0-0. I mean,
it's crazy.
Slate. Yeah, it's clean slate. Now take this take this into mind. So we mentioned the last time that Waukee has ever beaten Cedar Falls was in 2011, but Waukee since 2008 has never beaten Cedar Falls when they've played a best of 5. They've only beaten them in best of 3s. So what will happen here in game number 5?
Those big multi-team tournaments, you only play best of 3 sets. So you're right. I mean, this is a war of attrition, but the fact that they had forced a 5th set, I mean, I know that you don't want any moral victories at this point of the season, but man, you have to be proud of this Waukee Warrior team.
Yeah, and this also, I mean, this is literally, they are climbing the biggest mountain possible because they were down 2-0.
And that second set was not good.
Not good. Not good. It was 25-10, almost held under single digits. Now just think about it. So not only were they down 2-0, but as you mentioned, in this last set, they were on the verge, down 24-21. Cedar Falls only needed 1 point. I mean, how many times
can Acacia Brown was on the front row and was set up multiple times to put it away for the final point of the match.
Man, oh man, this is fun. This is what you get in Cedar Rapids at the IGHSAU State Volleyball Championships. Not only is it a phenomenal experience for the athletes, but for the fans, the spectators, and least important, the broadcasters, this is an amazing environment.
Hey, you don't have a dog in the fight, but if you enjoy sports, I mean, this match has been about as good as you can ask for to kickstart a state tournament.
And for Waukee, not only is it on to 5, but they won the coin toss, so they get a serve first, which is key because it's first 1 to 15.
I know they came back in that last set, but at the same time, you absolutely want to make sure that you get out in front and you stay out in front because you you cannot fall behind again.
And I have to check myself. Instead, it is Cedar Falls who won the coin toss and will serve first, and that plays important as Bronner is serving, and Cedar Falls gets the first point. And for Cedar Falls, I'm sure Coach Johnson says, just finish it. Just get a lead right away and just finish it. So Cedar Falls takes the first one. They take the second one as well.
Double hit. That's the first double hit we've had on a set in this match. And it comes in the 5th set in a huge spot. It's a tough break for Waukee.
Bronner still coming with a serve here. Taken by the Warriors, who trail 2-0. Nelson over. It's dug out. Yates in. And Cedar Falls is coming for a statement here in Game 5.
Well, you had the misplay in a de facto ace on the first one, then the double hit on the second one, and that one right there, Yates says, I'm not putting any doubt into my mind here.
Bronner again with the serve. It goes to the middle of the back row. Taken by Waukee. Here comes Nelson. Taken by Brown now. Emerson Green just shoves it over the net. Back to the Waukee side. They're able to not really get an offense going, but they get enough to get it back. Brown says, make that 28. She slams it home.
All right, so now they're down 4. They came from 6 points down, but it was a 25 points. I was going to say, Coach Cahoot Lynch has to absolutely be thinking about a timeout here because you cannot let this keep slipping away from you. Like I said, you can't fall behind and expect to make another run. Now, we talked about it. You have time now to do that little 3 points, give it back, 3 points, give it back, and make up enough ground to make this kind of a 4-point match. If you fall down 6 in a 15-point set, you're asking too much of your team to try to come back yet again against this particular team.
And I believe the number 7 seed has just upset the number 2 seed, if I'm seeing right. Yeah, that would be Iowa City Liberty over there wearing purple. And this is blue and white over here. That's Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley, number 7 seed, has just upset the number 2 seed in Iowa City Liberty in their first ever trip here to Cedar Rapids. Very new school. I think, second year or third year?
Second year. And what's interesting about that is they're located in a geographically good spot. They kind of stole a bunch of good athletes in that Coralville area.
Yeah, absolutely. But they have been upset here in the quarterfinals. And Yates comes back to our matchup as the number 8 seed is trying to also pull an upset over the number 1 seed, but they're in a lot of trouble.
Giving it to the horses now. You got to give it to Yates and Brown. They're up on the front row together. Try to put this away early.
Here comes a serve, still by Bronner, as it's a 5-0 lead. Ooh, nearly 6, but Waukee able to keep it alive. Oh, how did they do that? How did Emerson Green do that? She just fadeaway jumper. She had to keep that away from the antenna, and she lands it right in the pink.
And Waukee there, just their brains are telling there's no way that's going to drop in. And it lands about a volleyball width in. Unbelievable play by Green. And then another ace. Bronner, she's going to run the table here. They're almost halfway there. You're asking so much to come back from 7 points down. Waukee's had so much heart in this match, but you have to stop the bleeding as soon as possible here.
Another ace brought to you by Adrenaline Fundraisers. Adrenaline Fundraisers is given $5 for every ace in this tournament, and all that money is going back to the IGHSAU for future tournaments like these. Well, Waukee will not be shut out here in Game 5 as they get on the board, and now they got to go for a run.
Yeah,
a big one.
Nelson, a good opportunity for the kill there. That's her 8th in the match, and she's got to be good on the serve here well.
Green sets it up to Yates, slams it home, and that'll be a point. It's now 8-1 as Pleasant Valley on the far side looking on to see who is going to advance in this one. And right now it's looking like Cedar Falls. Waukee says, don't count us out yet.
Almost hit twice, both in the 3rd and 4th sets, and they came back with a vengeance to force this 5th set.
Far side, taken by Bronner. Green to Brown. Can she get 29? She can.
And that one is just the absolute sheer power to fight through 2 blocks, and then it just dies before it gets to that back row. I don't know what else you can possibly do to try to stop her.
You can't. And there's a service error on Godfrey.
Now, see, they got a little bit of room to play with here, though. They can get a little bit more finessey with a 7 or an 8-point advantage. If you're Waukee right now, this is as aggressive you have to play. You have nothing to lose at this point. You're already down by 7 points. Go for every shot you can.
And a big dig and pushed out of bounds. Was it tipped? No. Green looked over at our R1 on the stand and said, hey, I think that was tipped, and he shook his head no and said it went out of bounds off of Green, so a point to Waukee, now 9-3. Green sets it up. Brown, 30 kills in this match for Brown. Our Casey's player of the match continues to explain why she is the Casey's player of the match. Even if Cedar Falls would lose this one, she is still deserving of the Casey's player of the match. That's an ace serve, another ace serve for Emerson Green and the Cedar Falls Tigers, and another $5 to the IGHSAU, courtesy of Adrenaline Fundraisers. Make sure you check out Adrenaline for your next fundraiser need.
They're starting to feel it now over there.
I've actually done an Adrenaline Fundraiser before, so I can attest to that. As this one will be pushed out of bounds, and Waukee will get a point.
You know, like I said, you're asking so much to come from this deficit, but to not mentally fold. You have to give so much credit to Waukee, the coaching staff, all of the players, for sticking in it mentally and just giving themselves an opportunity here in the 5th set.
Waukee pushes it over on the serve. Here comes Brown, and it's blocked. Blocked back to the Cedar Falls side. Here comes Waukee. How much of a run can they make?
Ella Peterson has done the best that she can against those solid hits, and I know that she hasn't had as many of those successful blocks as she would have liked, but that was picture perfect right there against Brown.
Absolutely. This one over, taken by Bronner. Now a little bit of a miscommunication there between Golden Smith and Brown. It does get to the Waukee side. Waukee having a little bit of trouble. They do end up pushing it back over. Bronner back to Green, far side, 31.
Well, sorry to interrupt you, Aaron, but Waukee had an opportunity there. You mentioned the miscommunication that Cedar Falls had, unable to get an actual swing into an attack, but Waukee could not take advantage. They, too, had a little bit of miscommunication in handling that play.
And I don't even need to say names anymore. I can just say 30 kills. You know exactly who I'm talking about. It's Brown. Ooh, she makes a nice play there, keeping the ball alive. Big block by Green. Wow.
Coming up big in the middle there. It's a 6-point game. But like we mentioned, with no clock working against you, it's still possible. But you need 4 or 5 here, it feels like right now.
Leanna Green with a big block of the net there for Waukee. Now they get the service. And the Warriors will go back to work offensively after the layover from Cedar Falls. Now Cedar Falls will get a shot at their offense. And a little bit of maybe a trick shot there, I guess I could say, for Brown. She just trying to finesse it a little bit too much and into the net.
Yeah, Wedgbury not typically setting that play up, and her set was way too low. I don't know exactly how else you could have asked Brown to try to field that ball, and she just had to try to push it over. But we talk about it again. They've already trimmed 3 points off of what was an 8-point disadvantage here of the Warriors. Keep coming at you if they can survive, as Cedar Falls called this timeout. If they can survive the next 2 or 3 points, get this within 2, dare I say maybe even 1, they're right back in that same position where they're still within striking distance. You don't want to be behind here, but they've been behind and have found ways to get through the last couple of sets.
Well, we're in Cedar Rapids, beautiful downtown Cedar Rapids at the wonderful U.S. Cellular Center. It's a beautiful area, the U.S. Cellular Center. It's connected to a convention center with a hotel. I mean, just this location, this area, this arena for this event, you couldn't ask for much better.
And like I said, especially, I know we got some the schools changing out over there, but it's a fun atmosphere with 4 different schools and sections cheering at all times.
Well, Waukee will serve down by 5 and make that 6. And I believe that, it was Brown. So Brown will get the kill for it. 32 now kills on the match. No, they gave it to Golden Smith, excuse me.
They look an awful lot out there alike. They got the 2 little buns on top of their head there. And the way that Golden Smith has been hitting it as well as Brown, sometimes it's easy to get them mixed up.
Yeah, she plays a little similar too, both seniors. Waukee will return. The serve back to the Cedar Falls side. Little misdeception there. They most times you think they're going to go to Yates, instead they didn't. Big block in the back row from Brown. Another scramble at the net. Back still on the Waukee side. And now 6'6" Yates will push it back.
She didn't think that was going to get hit right back at her, but it did.
Here's Nelson over to the Cedar Falls side. Cedar Falls side. Up to Yates. Yates slams it home. She's been a little bit quiet towards the end of the last set and in this set, but she still has 17 kills now on the match. And Waukee will take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the IGHSAU Digital Network, presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau and powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
Mid-American Energy and you, together partnering to change the energy landscape by pioneering money-saving, energy efficiency programs and building a new industry in Iowa, wind energy, all while keeping your rates low. So what's next? We'll keep delivering cost-effective energy efficiency programs while putting money back in your pocket. That's right. You decide how best to spend your savings. That's a partnership good for you, good for the environment, and good for Iowa. Another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids, the U.S. Cellular Center in downtown Cedar Rapids. It's the IGHSAU State Volleyball Championships on the Championship Network, powered by Mid-American Energy and presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. Cedar Falls is 1 point away from moving on to the state semifinals. Can they finish it off right here, or can Waukee make another miracle comeback? We'll find out. Nelson for Waukee lays it over. Back to Green in the middle, and she slams it home.
They're not going to go away without a fight, but you feel like asking for 7 consecutive points against Cedar Falls is an awful tough ask.
Green now with 12 kills in the match, and she will serve. Cedar Falls will set up the offense. Can they finish it? No.
If I'm Cedar Falls, until they get within a couple of points, I'm setting for 21 and 17 every single chance I get.
Absolutely. If they and 17 and 21 just need to wind up and smack them as hard as they can. Here's Brown, and she sends back-to-back out of bounds. Waukee, 3 straight points. They're back to within 4, but they got to have 5.
I would.
They need at least 4 more.
Yeah, they need 4 more as well. I'd keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'd keep going 21-17.
Yep. There's a layover serve. Going to be an ace? No. Waukee sets it up again to Brown in the back row. She sends it over. Waukee will return, and they get a kill. Here comes Waukee. They got 4 straight. They need 7 straight to keep this alive. They got 4. And now Cedar Falls will take a timeout.
This is where you adjust that. I think now Coach Johnson's calling this timeout, and you know what he's going to say? All right, now instead of force-feeding our best attacker, who's in the back row, which is a disadvantage for them.
Right.
Maybe we just need to run our normal offense and just try to survive another. Because remember, this exact moment is exactly what happened in the 4th set, except it was 24-21, and then Waukee rattled off 5 straight. You're asking an awful lot for them to get 5 straight out of this timeout if you just play your brand of volleyball.
Could we ask for anything else in our first match of the day?
Absolutely not.
The number 1 versus the number 8. But see, that's kind of a deception as well because these two teams are so, Cedar Falls maybe a little bit above, but Waukee is not a bad team as a number 8 seed. If you make it here to Cedar Falls or Cedar Rapids, you have done something right throughout your year. And Waukee's showing everybody right now that they're not going to lay down. They need 3 straight. They've already got 4 in a row. They need 3 more, a total of 7 to keep this one alive. Brown just lays it over. Waukee will reset. Ooh, that was a little layup there. Back to the Cedar Falls side. They're going to try to end it. They don't. Waukee again. And again, it's Nelson.
Now, see, what I saw out of Cedar Falls there is they were going to the best available player instead of forcing it to Brown. But at the same time, Waukee they weren't getting cheated on their shots. They were just taking advantage.
Cedar Falls again offensively. Yates ends it. That's it. That's it. Cedar Falls is on to the state semifinals in a much closer match than they wanted. They got a little scare from Waukee, but that's Waukee saying, we are here. We are here to play.
I cannot tell you how exciting this was if you're a fan of just volleyball, seeing the underdog continue to come back. And I think this is good for Cedar Falls as well, even though it was way closer than I think they expected, especially winning the second set the way they did. I thought they probably thought we were going to waltz out of here, but Waukee never stopped coming back at him. Great management from the coaching staff, head coach Danielle Cahoot. Lynch, great job overall by the team leaders for Waukee, not letting their team mentally give up after, even in that 4th set, being down by 3 points, facing multiple match points. And then they were down by 7. They got it within 2 here at the end.